I think if I look back at last year, 2024, I think the biggest takeaway that I can be really proud of in terms of an aspect of my life is being able to maintain really good momentum in terms of my development overall as a person, but also professionally speaking, in terms of kind of the work I've done overall to grow and develop and just become a more well-rounded individual overall. Even starting this YouTube channel as kind of an example, or one of many examples. But I think something I did want to draw upon, and it's something that I've noticed, is I guess a risk is falling into becoming stagnant. You may wonder what I mean by that, but I'm sure all of you guys have seen it where you'll bump into people and it just seems they've got no spark about them, there's no drive, there's no ambition, there's no flair about them, they just don't seem enthusiastic by the slightest. It just seems like they're an empty vessel, they're completely dead inside, there's no get up and go or fire. And to me, that's one of the most dangerous positions to be in if you end up in that mental state, because I think it's completely counterintuitive. I think it just completely saps the energy out of the room if you're that type of person and you walk in and you've just got no charisma, nothing that makes people excited to be in your presence. Now you're probably asking yourself, like, okay, why is all of this so important? Now there's a really popular saying, and it's something that I was taught about 3 years ago now, which is the idea that perception is greater than reality. And what that basically means is, let's say, for example, you could be performing really well in reality, but if you're perceived as being a negative person, or you're perceived as being a downer or someone that people don't want to be around, then that perception basically overrides any credibility or merit of what you're doing in reality. And so the way you have to look at that is, okay, how can I influence that perception of me by other people? And ultimately, if you come across as being enthusiastic, having charisma, having a positive, progressive attitude, then people will naturally want to associate with that. And as a result, their perception of you overall will be positive. And I think to me, that's one of the key reasons why it's critical to avoid becoming stagnant in terms of not having any momentum about your own life from a development standpoint, just overall, because otherwise you'll be in a position where you will be perceived negatively.